I'm Patrick Sullivan. I'm a partner in the intellectual property counseling and prosecution group here in the Kansas City office. I come from 6 generations of either military service or law enforcement service. It wasn't a matter of whether I was going to serve, it was just a matter of what capacity I was going to do that. The Coast Guard in particular, it really appealed to me because it balances military experience, law enforcement experience, and humanitarian service. That's where I got my bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. Upon graduation, I was assigned to a ship, the Coast Guard cutter Sherman. I deployed 4 times when I was on the Sherman, a couple times up to Alaska, and then a couple times down to the Eastern Pacific. So I got a lot of early repetitions as a 22-year-old to make tough calls, make tough recommendations, and I failed and I learned. Doing some fisheries law enforcement, make sure that the U.S. fisheries were compliant with U.S. laws and regulations, but also there in case anybody got into trouble, which happens pretty regularly. If anybody's watched Deadliest Catch, they know that those guys get in trouble, and we're there. We were there to be their lifeline. And then the Southern Mission was also very cool, kind of Miami Vice style, chasing bad guys and stopping the flow of drugs. My second tour after that was as an intelligence officer in Norfolk, Virginia. So for 3 years there, I performed intelligence operations and kind of tried to fulfill intelligence requirements from Homeland Security. And so when the time came for me to move on from the Coast Guard, law felt like a very natural fit. Whether I was trying to get permission to do a boarding or detain somebody or permission to do some type of intelligence operation, the lawyers were constantly giving us advice on what we could or couldn't do, how we could do things to stay safe, mitigate risk. And I appreciated that. I saw lawyers that were solving hard problems. Being able to go out and get information now as a lawyer and focus on problems, focus on the right problems at the right time is a hugely valuable skill as an attorney. As a patent attorney especially, there's a world of technology out there, and every single patent case that I touch, it's so easy to get distracted. It's easy to focus on the wrong thing, focus on background, focus on what has been instead of focus on what the invention is. So being able to really identify the problem, the technical problem in my world now, was really analogous to what I did in the service. There's this thing called the Coast Guard Creed, and it's a aspirational set of objectives for every Coast Guardsman or Coast Guardswoman to remember and try to live by. And one of those was, I shall endeavor as far as I am able to bring my superior solutions, not just problems. That has stuck with me since I was 18 years old and I raised my right hand. I think as a lawyer, that is maybe more important than it ever was as a Coast Guard officer. Clients do like to know when things are going wrong, but they would much rather know how to fix them and how to make them right. And I try to do that.